Hey, everybody, it's KB from Underground Sports Philadelphia, obviously. Just wanted to give everyone a quick heads up. We know about Christian's mic issue during the episode. We were trying to figure things out before we started recording. We recorded a little bit later than we have been traditionally for these pods. So we still wanted to get something up and out for you guys. I think it's a good episode. So apologies for his audio quality. He knows about it. I know about it. We're working to fix it. But nonetheless, I think it's a great episode, great banter, great stuff talking about everything from day 6 of competition at the 2024 Paris Olympic Games. Again, it'll be fixed the next time. Promise you that. But please enjoy the episode. Please subscribe, hit the like button, leave a comment down below, ring the bell icon, subscribe on audio. And without any further ado, let's get into another episode of Light the Flame, an Olympics. What's up, guys? It's KB. Make sure you subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Click the bell icon down below so you don't miss a single video from us. And thanks for tuning in to another video from Underground Sports Philadelphia. Now let's get into it.
Philadelphia, baby, you're going to love it. Best sports fans in the world. Actually, the worst, but that's what makes them the best.
What's up, everybody? It's KB, and Christian is back from his trip to Europe, and this is Light the Flame, an Olympics podcast, your Olympic recap for the Paris 2024 Games for August 1st, 2024. Let's get into it. Christian, welcome back to this side of the pond. First of all, this is the first podcast we've been able to record since. How was your trip?
Crazy, fun, wild. Dealing with some British sun maybe gave me sun poisoning and fucked me up for a day or two, but aside from that, things were good. I would like to say, if anyone has the chance to go to Berlin, go to Berlin. It is not only just a extremely superbly easy city to get around with their great public transportation, but the food's cheap as shit there. I was getting 2 scoops of ice cream for €3. I was getting decent sized sandwiches for like €8. It's a great city, man. They've got a bunch of like small little neighborhood cafes. You take a train 30 minutes to this train station, you walk out, and there's just a small tapas cafe where it is you walk out. It's great. Love.
Amazing.
Berlin is a vibe.
That's amazing. What has been a vibe, at least today especially, is the U.S. and them stacking up their medal count. And it was in two of the big dog sports that everyone pays attention to during the Olympic Games, and that is obviously gymnastics and swimming. Christian, I will allow you to select where we start. Do we start with the first GOAT or the other GOAT, being Simone Biles or Katie Ledecky?
Let's start with what the people really come here to see.
Simone Biles does it again, the most decorated female gymnast in Olympic history, and just
clap it out, everybody. Clap it out, clap it out, clap it out. Insert clapping sound effects here.
Just a beautiful display. Cements her GOAT status. Wears the GOAT, the blinged out GOAT chain. And they've dominated in recent years, that being Team USA, with the last 5 gold medalists being Carly Patterson in 2004, Nastia Liukin in 2008, Gabby Douglas in 2012.
Patterson.
Blast from the past. That's a name you haven't heard in quite some time. Simone Biles in 2016, Suni Lee in 2020, and now Simone Biles again here today. Entering the event, both Biles and Suni Lee had the opportunity to etch their name into the history books again if either repeated as the gold medalist, and only 2 women have ever won 2 individual all-around gold medals. That's Larissa Latinina in 1956 and 1960, and Vera Kozlowska in 1964 and 1968. Furthermore, only twice in Olympic history have 2 American women finished on the podium in the all-around event at the same games.
Is one of those years 08?
I would assume so. And in the end, it was Simone Biles taking it home, gets the gold. Suni Lee takes home the bronze. And, she has her own story of getting back, to her form in gymnastics, battling the two very rare kidney diseases and having to retire from collegiate Olympics to focus on her health. And she comes out and dazzles. And Rebecca Andrade finishes in second with the silver medal for Brazil. But Simone Biles is just unbelievable and kind of just like resetting the standard, I think, of what Olympic gymnastics is. It was traditionally such a younger sport, and now at age 27, she's coming out and kind of saying, hey, like, we're just hitting our peak physical prime now, and it can be, a sport that you take longer and longer, and you don't have to, give up on your dream, early in a career, quote unquote. And she's been the focal point of U.S. gymnastics for the women for years now. And when you have Kevin Durant just tweeting GOAT Biles every single second of her performance today, and Kevin Durant also had one of the best tweets, because I think I kind of agree with him, Christian. Kevin Durant tweeted, "I really believe GOAT Biles can catch a lob and finish. #bounce."
She does have them hops.
Yeah, I mean, off the table, she goes 12 feet in the air, 9 inches, and I mean, she'd be able to get over the rim in basketball. So let's see Kevin Durant toss her a lob. But I mean, it is pretty wild that we exist in a time where we witnessed Michael Phelps's greatness and him being one of the most decorated, if not, the greatest Olympian of all time.
Which, by the way, 8 years after retirement, the fact that 0 of his world records stand, which
insane.
We'll talk about more about that stuff when we get to swimming with
another GOAT.
Life from Set You Fast.
But we got to witness Michael Phelps's run, and now we get to watch Simone Biles and Katie Ledecky. Like, the fact that we get to witness just Olympic greatness, and 3 of them are from the United States, is quite insane. And I just love the swagger-filled confidence that Simone Biles carries herself with. And like, we're 3 years removed from her getting, a serious, mental health hole that she fell into in Tokyo and had to withdraw herself from the Olympics. And nobody knew if we'd ever see Simone Biles compete again. And the fact that she's back on top is such an awesome success story for her, and just a great comeback story for her. And just the way that she has carried herself this Olympics has really been like a team captain as well, in so many different ways than what we've seen in the past. And I mean, she's been dealing with criticism from a former teammate as well, and oops, she caught the block. And she's been dishing out the tea, and they were the underperforming, underdog, not so good, lacking talent, competitors, and they're out here doing the damn thing. And Simone Biles gets another gold. Suni Lee with the bronze. And it was cool seeing, her entire family throughout the arena and everything. The Chicago Bears granted her husband a couple days of leave from training camp so that he could go to Paris, which I think is a really cool gesture. And
I don't think he missed much tonight.
What's that?
I don't think he missed much tonight.
Oh yeah. just Caleb Williams announcing his signing bonus.
And that game got stopped in the third quarter due to weather and games like food.
Yeah, I think he's living it up and doing the damn thing in Paris and enjoying himself much more. Simone becomes the oldest female gymnast to achieve the feat in 72 years. The oldest was Maria Gorakhovskaya, who won the title at age 30 in the 1952 games. Just an incredible performance. And Simone's not done either. Suni Lee's not done either. Jordan Childs isn't done yet. Like, there's still plenty of opportunity for Team USA Gymnastics to come through on the women's side and really, show out and rack up medals moving forward, but an unbelievable performance. The blinged out goat necklace is just the chef's kiss on everything, and Simone Biles is the queen of U.S. gymnastics and the queen of Olympic gymnastics at that.
Yep, it's really hard to say anything else at this point. What I do think it's fair to question if she will still be going in LA 2028, because that's a lot of time, and as we've seen across multiple sports leading up to these Olympics, there are people swimming in the events evolve greatly. Well, swimming and competing, especially in gymnastics, that she may very well make the team, but I think it's very much a question of if she's still the grade A number one headliner, or is this like, is her willing in 2028 like 2016 Phelps Rio last dance, like not really there to get all the big medal count, but it's kind of is the last ride.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's going to be fascinating to watch that unfold. And we watched more history unfold in the pool today as well. You want to talk about another GOAT that we get to watch perform at the highest level, and that is Katie Ledecky, who gets her historic 13th medal. Made history once again Thursday night in Paris. The U.S. women's 4x200 meter freestyle relay team won silver, giving Katie Ledecky her 13th medal. She's now the most decorated female Olympic swimmer in history. 8 of her medals are gold. Ledecky, along with teammates Claire Weinstein, Paige Madden, and Erin Gemmel, finished second in the relay behind Australia, who took gold in a time of 7 minutes, 38 seconds, 0.08. China took third and got the bronze. Katie Ledecky's the best.
Yeah. My favorite Ledecky stat, I'm pretty sure you have talked about this last night. The fact she is the top 20 times ever in a single event
is crazy.
It's not fair.
It's crazy.
But off the back of this Ledecky thing, I feel like there's a clear observation that can be made when it comes to USA versus Australia. So fundamentally, that's more of a rivalry on the women's side.
Mm-hmm.
Because if we're just going to be honest, the men's Aussie crop, it's not 2000 and 2004 anymore. There's not exactly any throat coming out of the woodworks, whereas Australia keeps shitting out people who can swim very fast, 100 free.
Yeah.
And Team USA is like, well, shit, we can't win any of these relays, but sure.
We'll still make the podium.
Yeah.
I mean, Katie Ledecky's dominance, it's just unreal watching her perform. And you know, we talked about it last night where she gets bronze in the 400 and everyone's like, oh, is she washed? And it's like, no, guys, like that's her midnight snack to her entree that she's going to order at the steakhouse and feast on everyone in the 1500.
Is Katie Ledecky washed? Please watch that 200 split back, please.
Disgusting.
Where she goes from being, it was like 1.2 back from first, and like 0.8 back from China in second, to basically China going like a net negative 2 seconds to Team USA, and Team USA falling back like, I think it was around a full second, and now they've never got win because Titmus was anchoring for Australia, but you know,
that was a nasty anchor leg too. As 2 former swimmers on this podcast right now. But I mean, Team USA has done a phenomenal job in the pool across the board. Like, that's where a lot of these medals have come from, which is really fun to watch. And tonight as well, joining Katie Ledecky and Tori Husk as the third female American swimmer to win an individual event in Paris, is American Kate Douglas, who wins the 200-meter breaststroke, claimed her first Olympic gold medal. She's 22 years old, and disgusting turns. Like, her turns and underwaters are filthy.
We'll talk about it. There's one specific turn that I want to talk about when we get to the 2am semis. But yeah, with the issues present in this pool, which, in case the people are just now listening, this pool's also more shallower than an Olympic pool traditionally is, which has created an issue, according to people on the ground, of the pool kind of becomes a wave pool at times. And so having great underwaters is kind of even more important than ever.
Mm-hmm.
And
like, watching the underwater cameras that are at the walls and seeing some of these turns and underwaters are just
hitting them.
I could watch them on repeat all day long. And Kate Douglas's turns in that 200-meter breaststroke literally won her the event, because it's not that she was poor in the actual swimming of the event, but Tatiana Smith and Tess Shelton were unbelievable in the actual swimming portion of the event, where Kate Douglas was good, but her turns, Rowdy Gaines said it, she probably gained a half a second each lap just from her turns alone. And for people that don't understand how insane that is in swimming, that is like utter domination off of your turns. To gain that much momentum coming off the walls is insane. And the fact that she was able to hold off Smith at the end, I'm sorry, Tatiana Smith is from South Africa. Tatiana Smith's buoyancy too throughout like the entire swimming portion of things, not the turns, was beautiful to watch. And I think maybe if this is a 400 breaststroke, Smith probably wins this. But the turns that Kate Douglas was able to execute in this were second to none and just unbelievable to watch.
400 breaststroke.
That's a death sentence.
It's better than 400 fly.
Yes. We were talking before we started recording too. The poster boy of men's swimming this year, Leon Marchand, just continues to dazzle. And as two former swimmers, and myself as a former 200 IMer,
and myself as a former 1500, as a former 1650/1500, 1000/800, 4IM, 2IM, etc., etc., etc.
It should be illegal to be good at both butterfly and breaststroke.
Yes, this is my key take, which I'm showing Kyle before the pod. No IMer is allowed to be that good at both. Think of all the great. Let's just put the history of 200 winners Olympics. So Phelps obviously was a butterflyer, and he was able to make do in breaststroke, but it was more like sure. I need to get the right event here. Hold on. Where's I am on this Wikipedia page? Multi-rows. Here we go. So let's just start since 2000. Gold medal was won by, I don't know who this person is. Great. Massimiliano Sure. Whatever. 2004 through 2016 was Phelps. That's Freestyle Gold Medals in 2 a.m. Seems nice. Wang Shen won in Tokyo. Don't know who that is, but if we just look at the second places during the Phelps years, Lochte. Now, maybe this is wrong, Lochte, really sure at this point because I feel like I haven't watched him swim in ages. Was he a better butterfly or a breaststroker?
I don't know why I remember him more as a breaststroker.
I'm the same way, but I feel like that doesn't make sense at the same time. You also have Laz Lucia, who was a butterflyer, and then 2016 you had Kosuke Harino, who I'm going to assume was a breaststroker because I don't know of a good Japanese swimmer that was a butterflyer, which may be weird to say to some people, but just go look at the history of Japan and the breaststrokers, and even look at the IMs this year, and just look at the breaststroke events this year. Really, it's Japanese swimmers that allowed us to do a butterfly kick when doing the breaststroke pull-out, guys. I mean, that's all you need to know.
Yeah. Marchand is just I said it on the last, he's a mutant in the most respectful way possible. He is.
Ooh, hold on. I've got something we can do once swimming wraps up. We have to create our 2024 Swimming Olympic X-Men.
Yeah. That'll be fun. But Marchand is just like,
it doesn't make sense.
It's insane that he can dominate in so many different ways, and it's funny because traditionally, like, America and France in sport are rivals, and it's always like, oh, the French are such dicks. Marchand is just so fun to root for, and he's so humble. Like, the interviews he gives after he finishes a race, like the other night, I don't know if you saw it, he talked about how he wishes Michael Phelps had the opportunity to swim in Olympic Games on U.S. soil so that he could feel the presence of the crowd and everything cheering for him. Like, he's just such a nice and genuine human being, and I want to root for him forever. Like, he is just such an awesome competitor, and he does it in such a way that, like, he makes it look so easy, and it's the first time since Michael Phelps in men's swimming that somebody has made the events that they are in, no matter what they are, look easy.
Aside from Katie Ledecky.
Right.
One thing that I think we kind of need to talk about when it comes to Marchand, because I don't think we were really seeing this in as big of a context. If France even had 2008 levels of talent around him, he could go for a Spitz or a Phelps, but the French relays are just nowhere. Which is crazy to think about. That how we have one of the great, who will be one of the greatest, let's just say, swimmers ever, probably when all is said and done. And he's not going to probably have that full big medal count moment because he's surrounded by the worst French relay crop in how many years?
So he's French swimming's Mike Trout.
But he's winning 4 gold medals, like winning how many MVPs though? I feel like the better equivalent is, I don't know. Oh, God, it's so hard. Like, are we? I would think it'd be easier to make like a basketball equivalent, because in the worst equivalency possible, it's like a Charles Barkley, where it's like he has all the individual greatness, he just doesn't have the team thing. And I don't know if he'll get that team thing because of the U.S. Even though we're going to have a massive shift heading into 2028 with all the old guard phasing out, with the UK, and other, more importantly, with China.
Mm-hmm.
And you're kind of just staring at France and you're going, how do you find 3 people to contend for gold alongside this top 2 or 3 all-time swimmer to let him attempt the Spitzer or Phelps? And I just don't see it happening. Which is sad.
Get ready to learn freestyle, Wemby.
How many underwater kicks would he do off a relay start before reaching the 15-meter mark?
1.5.
Okay, so what? Rayon Marchand, Victor Wembanyama, Rudy Gobert,
and we'll pull Tony Parker from the stands.
No. What's his name? What's the French sprinter's name? I should know this because I had to include him in a graphic. No. Oh, Manadu. Yeah, just 2 7-footers, one of the better French swimmers and one of the greatest swimmers of all time. Yeah, simple.
It'll work.
But just to stay on Marchand for a second, the specific tournament I want to talk about was from his 2 a.m. semi tonight. He was going from fly to back, and he's behind Casas at the turn, and he just pops up at the 15-meter mark, and the race is over. At that point, it's like, oh my God, come on.
It's disgusting.
He murdered that turn so hard that I was like, what happened?
It's insane.
What just happened?
He is truly unbelievable. Can't wait to. I think he has 1 or 2 more races left. So we'll see some more Marchand before the games close out at the pool. But before we keep it pushing, I do want to talk to everybody about our presenting sponsor, and that's our friends over at Shopify. They are the leading global brand in commerce and e-commerce to get your business booming in the right direction, and that's in the green, just like their bag logo that is one of the most recognizable logos out there. They started Shopify, the founders of the company did, because they wanted to sell snowboards, and there was no effective commerce website or just commerce entity that they felt, fulfilled their needs. So they said, hey, we're going to do it ourselves. And so they created Shopify, and now they are the #1 global leader in commerce and e-commerce. Guys, if you run a business, if you're a brick and mortar store or you're online, you should be using Shopify to get your products to your consumers. And for all of our YouTubers out there, if you're in the YouTube Partner Program and you want to get your merchandise stores integrated into your channel. Shopify is the way to do it. Click the link in the description. Get your commerce or e-commerce company going in the right direction with Shopify today. That's the link right down in the description. Click that bad boy and get your business booming right into the green with our friends at Shopify. And we want to thank Shopify for being our presenting sponsor of Light the Flame and Olympics podcast and helping bring Olympics coverage to everybody all summer long. Christian, for the first time in 46 years, U.S. men's 4 wins a gold in rowing. The team of Liam Corrigan, Michael Grady, Justin Best, and Nick Mead won gold in men's rowing, the first gold in men's 4 since 1960. And the finish also gives the U.S. its first medal in rowing since 2016 and is the second medal in the men's 4 in the 21st century. The U.S. won bronze in 2012. The victory is the first Olympic medal for Corrigan, Grady, Best, and Mead, and in their second Olympic appearance, Grady is the only returner from the men's 4 in Tokyo, while Corrigan, Mead, and Best competed in the men's 8 in Tokyo. This was the United States' 13th medal and third ever gold in this event. And our guy, Justin Best, he's from Philadelphia, from Drexel, diehard Eagles fan, gave a shout out to the Eagles in his post-race interview, said he wanted to throw in the dog mask, drop the Go Birds, Eagles everywhere. Shout out to Justin Best, Philadelphia's own. But we have been seeing the United States in so many events this Olympics, either with just overall first-time achievements in an event or breaking records that are decades long. And here's another one to add to the list with men's 4s and rowing.
Yep, it's been a good Olympics for non-traditional U.S. sports to succeed. Rugby,
women's canoe slalom, we got a bronze, which is one of my new favorite sports.
I will say that we're still having some disappointments, such as I believe we had the #1 archer in the world, and she got knocked out in the round of 32, which big oofs.
Yeah.
Big oofs in the chat.
As they say in the old country, you win some, you lose some. But in the men's rowing 4, U.S. gets gold, New Zealand takes silver, and Great Britain takes the bronze. U.S. women, once again, with a big-time win. They get the team foil dub in fencing and take home the gold. The U.S. women's fencing team comprised of Lee Kiefer, Lauren Scruggs, Jackie Dobrovich, and Maya Weintraub made history in Thursday's team foil final. The Americans were unmatched, besting Italy 45-39 for the gold medal, the country's first ever gold in a team fencing event, men or women. Kiefer now has the most career fencing Olympic golds of any U.S. athlete. She now has 3, and the U.S. is now tied with Hong Kong and South Korea for the most fencing golds at the Paris Games with 2. Italy took the silver, like I mentioned. Japan takes the bronze, but U.S. women's fencing on top with the gold medal.
Not gonna lie, when you said Hong Kong and Japan, I thought you were gonna say all time. To which I was gonna respond, Hong Kong. Huh? Hong Kong all time fencing. Okay, just
walked it back a little for you.
Yeah. Every time I think of fencing now, I can't help but to think of the I don't remember the name of Pablo Torres' podcast for the life of me, but of the episode that he had a week or two ago about what is happening with fencing. But yeah, we've done pretty good in fencing this year. I can't fully speak to fencing because I don't even claim to fully understand fencing, but it's good for us.
Pablo Torre finds out is what you were talking about,
yeah.
I assume. But yeah, shout out to the women's U.S. fencing squad there. The U.S. women's basketball team defeated Belgium behind two icons in the WNBA, being Breanna Stewart and Asia Wilson, who combined for 49 points on 16 of 26 shooting to go with 20 rebounds and 6 assists. The Americans next face Germany on Saturday, August 3rd, in a game that will decide Group C. So shout out to the ladies on the court. U.S. beach volleyball duo Taryn Cloth and Kristen Nuss outlasted China in 3 sets. Action was delayed soon after the start of the third set due to lightning in the area. However, the match resumed about an hour later, and I hope one of the photographers at the U.S. Beach volleyball match there got a photo of that entire course with lightning striking, because that would be just an all-time photo to go along with our surfing photo that better win all types of awards this year. I'll have to send it to you. I showed it to Casey and her jaw dropped.
Yeah, I saw it.
The lens room. Oh no, the Canon, because Canon is the official lens of the Olympic Games. There's an entire room of just camera lenses for any photographer to kind of just choose from. It looks like a Foot Locker of Canon lenses. It's insane. I'll send you the picture. I was flabbergasted. The U.S. men's basketball 3-on-3 team lost to Lithuania 20-18, and later lost to Latvia 21-19 in the pool round.
So we have to talk about how in 2028 it just has to be NBA players.
Yes.
Because I'm sorry, Jimmer, but no. And like, I'm sorry, Haley Van Lith, because you do get too much hate. I will willingly say, but this 3v3 performance is pathetic.
Yeah, it's crazy that I was talking to Steve about this. It's crazy that I know the names of the 4 members of the women's team, and I only know Jimmer Fredette on the men's team. Like, we couldn't have gotten like Mac McClung to play 3-on-3. Like that feels like that's right in his wheelhouse. But yeah, it is crazy that with the men's, as like if Jimmer Fredette's off the court, they fall apart. And that's that's a crazy sentence to utter in 2024, that if Jimmer Fredette is off the court, his team falters. But that's been the case the entire time for the men's 3-on-3. The women's 3-on-3 lost to Australia 17-15, but they defeated Spain 17-11. Olympic men's golf got underway, though. We did our golf preview on yesterday's episode, and the most recent episode of the Get in the Hole podcast is a giant golf preview for Olympic golf. Definitely go check that out. It opened on Thursday, and Japan's Hideki Matsuyama took an early lead on day 1, with American Xander Schauffele just 2 shots behind, and Christian, the Wyndham Clark slander online has been running rampant.
Not great, bub. Not great.
Second seeded Carlos Alcaraz clinched his first Olympic semifinal berth in his debut at the Games. The Spaniard ousted American Tommy Paul in a straight set victory, and something tells me Alcaraz was kind of seeing red there after he and Nadal were ousted in doubles to Team USA, which was one of the more shocking upsets yesterday.
Oof.
Yeah.
Oof.
In straight sets.
How?
Yeah. 6-2, 6-4. Bye-bye Nadal, bye-bye Alcaraz in doubles. But we did do a little research that if it does play out, we could get an Olympic singles final, Christian, in men's tennis of Carlos Alcaraz versus Novak Djokovic. Talk about get your popcorn ready. Looking here, I do have a couple more things that went down today. USA's Miles Parton and Andy Benesh defeated Brazil to reach the beach volleyball round of 16. That's a big time win there for Team USA as well. Andy Murray, his tennis career has come to a close and he tweeted today.
It was so good.
I never even liked tennis anyway. The other bits here. Pretty cool story on the NBC Olympics website. Paul Judah, who is in gymnastics, he had a whiteboard that was like dream filled, and now he's an Olympic medalist. I highly recommend giving that article a read. Very fun stuff. Caeleb Dressel also back in the final for the 50-meter freestyle, and just like did it casually. Like he was like, yeah, I'm just gonna cruise here in the semis, just get in, and then did his thing, finished second in his heat in the semis.
I dropped a tweet about this earlier today, but I don't think we're talking enough about the disappearing act in individual events of Chris Giuliano. Like, this is a guy who made it in the 50, 100, and 200, and I think he missed the semis in all of them, or in two of the three.
That's a
what
yikes.
Happened?
That's a yikes.
Like you are the trials winner in multiple of these events, and you're going MIA on the big stage. Quick question. Are we going to quickly touch on men's basketball?
Sure.
Okay, so I wanted to bring this up because I was listening to a Bill Simmons podcast, and he brought up how, and when you look at the stats, you can see this. Kevin Durant is like quietly one of the greatest Team USA players ever. Like in his last 3 Olympics, he was averaging 19.5 points, almost 6 rebounds, and 3 assists in his first Olympics in 2016. Is that 2016?
I think so.
No, sorry. In 2012.
Oh, yeah, he was on the 2012 team.
Okay, so they just don't have this year's stats on Basketball Reference. Okay, so this is his 4th year. In 2016, 19.4, 5 rebounds, 3.5 assists, while shooting 58% from 3. And while his 3-point shooting percentage was only down to 37.5% in 2020, he averaged 20.7 points per game, 5 rebounds, and almost 4 assists. And he's doing this shit again.
He's unreal, and Steve and I touched on it too, because LeBron joined Kevin Durant and Carmelo Anthony as the only 3 members of Team USA and potentially Olympic basketball, I think, in general, to score 300 points in Olympic play. Yeah, Kevin Durant is like, we should be propping him up more for how dominant he is when it comes to the World Games, whether it's the Olympics or the World Championships, because let's not forget 2010, he was the FIBA World Cup MVP as well in Turkey and won gold there with Team USA.
22.8 points per game, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 45% from 3.
Yeah, I mean, he's genuinely one of the best. Like, obviously, it's not like it's a different situation than like a Phelps or Ledecky or Simone Biles, but he is one of the best U.S. Olympians.
100%.
And Team USA looking to continue strong moving forward after that win over South Sudan. Also, Christian, U.S. men's soccer looking to advance to the semis. Who would have thought?
Do-wop, McGlynn, Harrell, Aronson, do-wop.
Who would have thought that
Look at us.
Who would have thought that Greg Berhalter was the one holding everybody back?
Yeah, but Greg Berhalter wasn't coaching the youth team, so I will ignore that joke.
One thing that I do want to touch on, because it took the internet by storm as we record this, the women's boxing. Number one, everybody, Google is free. It is very easy to do some research.
And guys, our biggest problem as a culture is we've become so reactionary. And anytime I see something like that, I always do a cursory Google check. It takes 5 seconds. You can literally just copy paste and get actually valuable information. Please just start doing that, okay? Thank you.
Yeah, so I believe it's Imani Khalif from Algeria. She ends up winning her first Olympic fight against Italy's Angela Carini. And
who she landed a heck of a punch on.
A hell of a punch. Like, hey, Angela Carini, maybe learn how to defend yourself a little bit better before you step in the ring. And the internet just went crazy and tried to run with this narrative that Khalif was transgender and all this stuff, that she has XY chromosomes popping up in her blood work and all this kind of stuff. So, a couple things. Number one, she is born biologically female. She identifies as female and has identified as female her entire life. Number two, she is 9-5 in her professional boxing career. I mean, she has won 9 times and has lost 5 times.
Yeah, I feel like this is one thing that I have to jump in on here. The tendency of a certain political wing to get in an uproar over the most middling athletes most of the time is honestly kind of hysterical.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can understand the Leah Thomas outrage. Like, I'm not saying I agree with it, but I can understand it. But the people who get mad at like a middling boxer or a middling track athlete, it's like, come on, you've got better things to do with your time, guys.
Whole lot of people online who claim to not care about pronouns were really caring about pronouns today, Christian. But at the end of the day, Khalif wins fair and square. She was disqualified from the World Championships for having too much testosterone show up in a test that they did. That is common in cisgendered women. That is something that could happen to any common person you know. Just because somebody is good at what they do and ends up winning in the biggest stage, it gets this public outcry to just rage bait and divide people, when we should be celebrating just a dominant win by a boxer who was talented enough to represent her country in the Olympics. The other funny part about this, and it's not funny that it's the case in her home country, but in Algeria, it is against the law to transition and claim to be transgender. You can be thrown in jail. So the fact that people think that the nation of Algeria would send a quote-unquote transgender boxer to the Olympics to represent their country makes your entire argument look so foolish. And number one, I hope we can have Algeria and other nations advance past that to where people can live their lives the way they feel they should be able to live their lives. But a simple Google search can give you all of this information. And it takes less than 5 minutes to do. And the fact that so many people and so many prominent figures online, and I'm going to name drop them: Darius Slay, Saquon Barkley, Jen Slay, Dan Orlovsky, Pat McAfee. You have countless more. But these people have platforms and huge followings and impressionable followers and young followers that are going to see this. And that leaves a lasting mark because those are people that look up to you as a public figure. You need to do better. And, Jen Slay saying she fell for a fake tweet. No. You saw something, were reactionary to it, and then you got called out for it. So you tried to walk it back, and you looked like a fool and had egg on your face. Sorry about your luck. But we need to do better of just doing a quick fact check. It's not that hard. And guess what, guys? In today's day and age and in 2024, everything you see on Twitter, not a lot of it's going to be valid. You need to do your research. Twitter's no longer the search engine it used to be.
No, Twitter quite literally went from being the best. Calling it the best social media platform is a stretch because it doesn't have the flexibility of Instagram. It's not the worst. It's worse than fucking Facebook, I'd argue.
Mm-hmm.
And that's an accomplishment.
Mm-hmm. But I just got to say to everybody out there, Google's free. It's a free tool to use. You have it at your disposal in your pocket with your phone. You don't even have to go to a computer to Google anymore. Use it. Do a little research. And it's very funny watching so many people who in your lives kind of tell on themselves that they never paid attention in history class, in geography, or in biology. They're showing their ignorance a lot today. But no free ads. Google, shout out to you for being a free service. People, fucking use Google. It's not that hard. Anywho, moving right along, Christian. On day 6 of competition, 16 medal events were contested after men's and women's sailing skiff events were postponed until August 2nd due to inclement weather. The United States won 7 medals on Thursday, the most by any nation that day. And 6 of those medals were earned by female athletes. I believe the U.S. has the most female domination in terms of medal count in terms of who's got it, men or women. They're kicking ass. American gold medal winners include the men's 4-boat rowing, Simone Biles, Kate Douglas, and the women's foil fencing team. And we've got a loaded slate tomorrow. But before we get into tomorrow's slate, our updated medal count brought to you by our friends over at FOCO. They are the leading distributors in forever collectibles, and their Team USA capsule is available for pre-order now, where you can get Team USA tumbler mugs, coffee mugs. Who doesn't love a little garden gnome with Team USA donned on it? Plus, they've got stuffed animals with Team USA on them as well, plus a whole lot more. And FOCO, they are the leaders in officially licensed forever collectibles from your favorite sports teams, from Major League Baseball, the National Football League, the National Hockey League, the National Basketball Association, college basketball, college football, the WWE, and more. Click the link in the description and get your forever collectibles game upgraded today with our friends over at FOCO. And big thank you to FOCO for sponsoring the podcast. Team USA moving up the ranks, Christian. They added a lot more gold hardware to their count. They're now up to 9 gold medals and in second place via the gold medal count standings. But they are in first place in the overall medal count standings with 37. China leading the way with 11 gold, 24 overall medals. France and Australia and Japan all with 8 golds. France with 27 overall medals, putting them in second place in the overall medal count. Great Britain, South Korea, Italy, Canada, Germany, and the Netherlands round out the top 10 in the gold medal count standard. And, a plethora of countries on the board now with medals. Very fun to watch. Fiji gets on the board with a silver medal today. We had just the other day, it was, who was it? It was Guatemala, I believe, won their first gold medal ever in the Olympics, which was really cool to see. You have countries like Kazakhstan, you have South Africa, Georgia, Kosovo, Turkey, Mongolia, Tunisia, Moldova, a lot of smaller countries making some noise, getting on the podiums and winning medals. It's very fun to watch. Some of these non-traditional countries that you wouldn't, expect to see getting medals this early in the games, finding their way onto the medal count board. And that's awesome for those nations to have those athletes medaling for them. And, when they go home, just like any of the big countries, they're going to be folk heroes when they return home.
Yep.
So we'll see how things continue to shake out tomorrow, where the schedule picks up, and it is the first day of track and field for the Paris Olympics. They've cleaned things up over at the track from everything happening with rugby to now get it ready for the track and field events. And they're going to be very electric. Team USA, a lot of expectations for that team this year. And I can't wait to watch everybody's favorite nerd, Jordan Lyles, do his thing and seeing which Yu-Gi-Oh! Dual Disc he rolls up with.
Hold on. Is he really America's favorite nerd anymore? Because what about our beloved Clark Kent?
Wait, what happened?
Is Noah Lyles really our favorite nerd when you have our Clark Kent pommel horse Penn State mathematics students solving Rubik's Cubes?
We have gymnast nerd and we have fast nerd.
Fight to the death. It can only be one.
I'm excited for Team USA's track and field team. They are locked and loaded, and I think they're going to make a lot of noise this year, which is going to be very, very fun to watch.
Wow, I agree. Sad Christian Coleman noises, and that's all I'll say.
Yeah.
Pain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Moving into tomorrow's schedule as well, we have badminton still continuing on, 3-on-3 basketball, beach volleyball, golf continues into round 2, handball, group play continues. We've got more shooting, which the shooting memes have been unbelievable. The one guy from, I believe it's Turkey, who's like 51 years old, and just hand in pocket wins the silver medal. Just unbelievable. Volleyball continues on. Archery. I don't know if you saw this video. I saw it tonight. The distance of where the archers are set up to where the target is much farther than I ever expected.
I've watched it before, and yeah, it is. There's enough so looking at the actual board.
Yeah, it's insane. We'll tweet the video and post it on our socials. We've got a medal event for men's synchronized 3-meter springboard in diving tomorrow. We've got a bunch of rowing medal events going on as well. We've got tennis medal event happening as well tomorrow night. Hopefully sailing can get back underway as well as surfing. I know there's been a lot of weather issues in Tahiti, so hopefully things can get going there. We've got equestrian medals, trampoline gymnastics medals, whole lot of stuff going on tomorrow, plus more soccer continuing on. And
weather issues in Tahiti, water issues in Paris,
whole lot of water issues.
All we left is wind issues in somewhere else.
We've got the men's 50-meter freestyle final tomorrow, as well as the women's 200-meter backstroke final and the men's 200 IM final, which Leon Marchand is going to just make us look absolutely silly with how good he's going to swim that. Very excited to see him do that. We got the men's 100-meter butterfly semis.
Two body lengths.
We've also got the men's 10,000 meter final in track and field, which just sounds like death. And we've got the cycling BMX racing women's final as well. Very excited for that. Christian, any final thoughts from today's action in Paris before we get up on out of here?
Really fun day. Really interesting to see how things are going to go. I still think Team USA will top out the overall medal count, but the question of golds is, I think, thoroughly up in the air.
Yeah, it's going to be fun to watch. And you can follow along with us for the entirety of the Olympics on social media. Follow us on Twitter at LTF Olympics and on Instagram and Threads at Light the Flame Pod. Subscribe to the podcast feed on Apple and Spotify. Bunch of people have been subscribing already. We want to thank you guys for tuning in, everybody that has so far. It's been a wild success for this project that we've launched kind of on a whim. It was, it came together really fast, and we're very excited so far with the outcome. So keep on subscribing. Tell your friends about this show because we're going to keep it rolling all summer long. Probably going to dive into the Paralympics as well. And then, Christian, I don't know if you saw this, but early on in Olympics competition, the IOC officially confirmed for 2025.
I'm not unpacking this. It's
the Esport Olympics.
Why are you so scared of first-person shooters, you little pricks?
Hey, I just want to see people play Super Smash Brothers on the biggest stage.
Sure, but like, we're scared of having a game of guns when we're really making memes out of a Turkish man holding a pistol, shooting with one on the side.
Yeah, we'll see how it all shakes out. But we're going to keep this project rolling for every Olympics that rolls around. So be sure to keep subscribing, follow us on the socials. And if you want to watch the show in video form, it's on the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/@UndergroundSportsPhiladelphia. Smash the like button, ring the bell icon, leave a comment down below your favorite event so far throughout these Olympics, what you're looking forward to most for the next week or so of the Olympic Games. And this has been Light the Flame, an Olympics podcast for August 1st, 2024, breaking down everything happening at the 2024 Paris Olympic Games. For Christian, I'm KB. We'll see you back here tomorrow for more action from Paris. But until then, enjoy Leon Marchand and some goats from Team USA.
Some cheese.
Some cheese for sure. Also, yeah. Final thought, shout out to Parmigiano Reggiano. They liked our Instagram post. We'll see you guys back here tomorrow for more Olympics coverage on Light the Flame, an Olympics podcast presented by Shopify and Underground Sports.